All right, the recording has started.
Okay. Sorry, I've got.
Chair, you can go ahead and call the meeting to order, please.
Yes, thank you. Give me 1 second. Okay. This is a public notice for the City of Boulder Beverage Licensing Authority hearing Wednesday, August 20th, 2025, and it is 3:04 p.m. This is a virtual hearing.
Great, thank you. We're going to go ahead and share the instructions for virtual hearing and rules of decorum that I can read off. Okay. The city has engaged with community members to co-create a vision for productive, meaningful, and inclusive civic conversations. This vision supports physical and emotional safety for community members, staff, and board members, as well as democracy for people of all ages, identities, lived experiences, and political perspectives. For more information about this vision and the community engagement processes, please visit our website and also visit the Boulder Revised Code. The city will enforce the rules of decorum found in the Boulder Revised Code, including participants are required to sign up to speak using the name they are commonly known by, and individuals must display their whole name before being allowed to speak online. Currently, only audio testimony is permitted online. No attendee shall disrupt, disturb, or otherwise impede the orderly conduct of any meeting in a manner that obstructs the business of the meeting. This also includes failing to obey any lawful order of the presiding office to leave the meeting or refrain from addressing the board. Only one person at a time is allowed to speak unless an accommodation like an interpreter is required. All remarks and testimony shall be limited to matters related to city business. No participant shall make threats or use forms of intimidation against any other person. Obscenity, other epithets based on race, gender, or religion, and other speech and behavior that disrupts or otherwise impedes the meeting will not be tolerated. Let's go ahead and take that down. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and start with agenda item 1. That's member roll call. Member Roberts.
Member Roberts, present.
Member Carr.
Member Carr, present.
And Member Barnes.
Barnes, present.
Great. And as stated, thank you, Member Roberts, that Member Lansing will not be joining us, and that also Member Haggerty will also not be joining us. But we do still have a quorum. Now we have we have agenda items from the licensing clerk. We do have an agenda item to discuss with you today. Agenda item number 4 on the agenda, we would like to request a continuance of that item. They were not able to do the public posting in time, so we would like to request a continuance for that, please.
Sure. Do you need a motion for that?
Yes, please.
I'll make a motion for continuance for Addo's until next month's meeting.
Perfect. And that's agenda item 4.
Agenda item 4.
Member Carr will second that motion.
All those in favor say aye. Member Roberts, aye.
Member Carr,
Barnes,
aye.
aye. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Want to do that again?
Member Barnes, aye.
Member Carr, aye.
Great.
Fantastic. Thank you. We will now move on to agenda item 2. Oh, excuse me. I did miss something. My apologies.
Yeah.
Thank
Did everyone have a chance to review the meeting minutes from
you.
July 16th? Any
Yes.
motion to approve or any edits?
I motion to approve the minutes from July 30th.
I said July 16th.
I'm sorry, July 16th. I make motion to approve the minutes from July 16th,
Okay.
2025.
I'll second that motion to approve the minutes from July 16th. All those in favor say aye. Member Roberts, aye.
Member Barnes, aye.
Member Carr will abstain because I wasn't present.
And Now I will ask about the July 30th meeting. Are there any edits or motions to approve? I'll make a motion to approve those minutes from July 30th. Is there a second?
Member Carr will second that motion.
All those in favor say aye. Member Roberts, aye.
Member Barnes was not present, so I sustain.
Member Carr, aye.
Great, thank you.
Hi, everyone. I'm sorry to interject. So there is not a quorum because member Carr is abstaining from the July 16th. So we need at least 3 board members to vote on that. So unless Roberto corrects me, we will just go ahead and continue that to the next hearing.
No reason to correct you.
Thank you.
We went through all that for nothing. Okay, well,
It's all right.
we'll have to continue both because member Barnes was not at the July 30th hearing.
Got it. So we will continue both.
Thank you, Caitlin.
You're welcome.
Okay. Then now we will move on to agenda item 2, which is going to be matters from the Boulder Police Department. Officer Leah Rack is here. Officer Leah Rack, go ahead.
Good afternoon. I'll keep it short. Can you guys hear me okay? It always seems like I have issues with my computer. I'll just give you a couple updates. The students are back, and so our businesses are active. So far, year to date, these are just an estimate. We've received 1,400 fake IDs, and approximately 70% of those fake IDs are from our CU students. So that leads me to the next thing we have scheduled coming up next week, a meeting, I call it the Meeting of the Minds, where CU, the City Attorney's Office, Municipal Courts, the Police Department, we're all going to get together and try to make sure that we have the most cohesive and effective way to handle those fraudulent IDs and the consequences from our students, and see if there's some better ideas and things like that. And then I think, yeah, and then next month I will try to get for you, like we talked about previously, some statistics about what those IDs entail for first-time offenders, second-time offenders, third, etc. How many of them go to court? I can tell you right now, I have about 70 tickets waiting to be issued for second, third, fourth offenses. So we are working hard to try to get those issued and to try to figure out a solution. I don't think it's ever going to go away, but we can try. So, and other than that, I don't think I have anything. Does anyone have any questions for me?
Officer Rack, to clarify, are those 70 tickets, were they issued in the last week since the students have started coming back?
Oh my gosh, I can tell you today I've had 12 alone. Because they were gone all summer, and so now they're trying to get them, taken care of and stuff. And so yeah, and then a lot of them just don't read their emails over the summer, which I don't blame them. I probably wouldn't either. So we're just trying to get kind of caught up. So there's 3 of us working on that now to try to get those numbers caught up.
Well, thanks for everything you're doing.
Yeah, thank you.
Any other questions or comments for Officer Rack? All right, thank you so much for the update.
All right, thank you.
Great.
Thanks.
Thank you, Officer Rack. Okay. Next, we have agenda item 3, which is general public comment for future beverage licensing authority hearings. If you are here to give public comment on something that is not part of the agenda, please use the raise hand function and we will allow you to unmute yourself, and we will do that in the order of the hands raised first. I'm not seeing any hands right now. We'll give it just another few minutes. Again, if you have any public comment for anything that is not on this agenda, please go ahead and raise your hand. Okay, fantastic. We'll go ahead and move on. That would be agenda item 4, which is the agenda item that we asked for the continuance. So we will skip right on ahead. That will be agenda item 5. That is going to be the public hearing and consideration of an application filed on June 13th, 2025 from the Riverside Group Ltd, doing business as Riverside at 1745 Broadway Street, Boulder, Colorado, 80302. Richard Mosier, member with 62% ownership and registered manager. Andres Loopster, member with 22% ownership and with no other member over than 10% ownership for renewal of an entertainment type liquor license. If you are here to speak regarding this matter, please raise your hand. I do see Richard Mosier has his hand raised. Give me just one moment. Hang on briefly while I get everybody situated. Okay, and my apologies, I misread the address. I imposed the numbers incorrectly. It's 1724 Broadway Street, Boulder, Colorado for Riverside. So my apologies on that. I do want to let the board know that as of today's date, the Riverside Group is not currently in good standing with the City of Boulder sales tax. Their renewal application is missing the following items, which is the signature on the city renewal application, the proof of responsible vendor training certificates for employees listed on the proof of training form. They have an incomplete tax authorization waiver and request to release form, and also incorrect state form, which is DR 8400. As of today, they are in good standing with their liquor occupation tax. If you are here to, excuse me. Let's see. So Richard Mosier, I would like to ask you if you can go ahead and unmute yourself and share your screen, please. Okay, thank you. And will you go ahead and please state your name, spell your name, and give an address for the record?
Yeah, Richard Moser, 1724 Broadway, Boulder, Colorado, 80302.
Thank you. And will you be represented by an attorney today?
No,
Do you anticipate that anybody else other than yourself will testify today?
no,
Okay, great. I'll go ahead and swear you in. Please raise your hand. Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you are about to give in the matter before the Beverage Licensing Authority is true?
yes,
Do you also swear or affirm that you or your employees have posted the premises for at least 10 days prior to today's hearing?
yes,
Great. Thank you.
thank you.
Great, thanks. All right. This is a public hearing before the Beverage Licensing Authority of the City of Boulder to determine whether or not the application of applicant the Riverside DBA Riverside 1724 Broadway Street for a renewal of an entertainment type liquor license shall be granted or denied. This hearing is conducted pursuant to the laws of the state of Colorado and the rules of the Beverage Licensing Authority of the City of Boulder. The purpose of this hearing is to receive information, data, and testimony by interested parties in order to enable the authority to make the findings and to reach the conclusions required to be made by state law as to whether or not the license shall be renewed. Interested parties are the applicant, residents of the neighborhood affected by the license as previously determined by the authority, and the owners and managers of a business located within the neighborhood. This hearing shall be limited to question of whether there is good cause not to renew the license as set from the notice of the hearing dated August 20th. A record Okay. Are there any conflicts of interest or ex parte communication from the board? Member Roberts, no?
Member Barnes, no.
Member Carr, no.
Great. And Mr. Moser, are you ready to proceed?
Yes.
Okay, please go ahead.
Just a statement, like I have to say, I thought I filled in every form that we needed to fill in, so the things I quickly jotted down, but the signature, the training certificates, we basically got the same crew we had last renewal, -1, I believe. My daughter is no longer working here. And then, yeah, the tax authorization form, I passed that on to a tax attorney that I signed over the power of attorney. And I'm not sure what the state form, could you repeat what was the problem with that? The wrong form, I think you said?
Um,
I've got it, just one moment.
thank
Okay.
you.
So it just has, it looks like we had an incomplete tax authorization waiver form, and there was also, excuse me, we had an incomplete tax check authorization waiver and request to release information state form for, which is the DR 8400 form. And that's the information that I have.
So that's the same thing as the form, okay. And yeah, I was under the impression that this hearing was because our license type is no longer available in the city of Boulder, and we had to transfer to a new license type. So I wasn't prepared. I didn't know there were missing elements to my application, so I do apologize for that. This do appear like I could correct all of this pretty straightforward. Sorry.
Would you like and would you like to have a continuance to come back? Is that something I can offer?
Yeah, if that would help and I can correct all these things that, yeah, I mean, it's up to the board or they can do it contingent, that I correct these things, but whatever works best for the board.
You would have to make a formal request if you wanted to.
Yeah, I would then request a continuance so I can correct all these items with this, working with the staff and.
Member Card, were you going to say something?
Sorry.
Okay. Then, do you have anything else to say? If not,
No.
we'll close for deliberation.
No, I'm good, thank you.
Okay. Any discussion around this?
Sure. Yeah, I was gonna say that I think we should continue it to,
Yeah.
we can't approve it with all these things missing.
Exactly.
Yeah,
And it
I
sounds
agree.
like he wasn't aware and can do it, so. Is there a motion?
Member Carr will make a motion to continue this item till next month, September meeting.
Member Barnes can, seconds that motion.
Great. All those in favor of continuing item agenda number 5 to the September meeting, say aye. Member Roberts, aye.
Member Barnes, aye.
Member Carr, aye.
Okay, Mr. Moser, we'll see you next month then.
Okay, well, thank you.
Thanks.
Okay, great, thank you. So we will go ahead and move on to agenda item number 6, which is the public hearing and consideration of an application filed on June 30th, 2025 from Roots Music Project Foundation, Inc., doing business as Roots Music Project, 4747 Pearl Street, Suite V3A and C, Boulder, Colorado, 80301. David Kennedy, Executive Director, and JC Ogle, Community Director, with a off-premise business mailing address for a modification of a premises of an entertainment type liquor license. And it looks like we already have representation of Veronica Vecchio here to speak. And we're just getting a few other people sorted. Give us just one moment, please. Okay, great. So Veronica Vecchio, since you will be speaking on this matter, we'll ask you to please record your appearance and ask who will be providing testimony.
Yes, good afternoon. My name is Veronica Vecchio. I'm an attorney from Clark, representing Roots Music Project Foundation. My bar number is 37225, and we are applying for a permanent modification of the entertainment liquor license. I have here today two witnesses to testify. Matt Cottle, who's Director of Operations with a 501c nonprofit. And I also have Laura Lunn of Alcohol Petition Service.
Perfect, thank you. So we'll go ahead and start. If I can go ahead and swear in. Matt, will you please say and spell your name and give an address for the record, please?
Absolutely. Hi, guys. Thank you for your time. My name is Matt Cottle, M-A-T-T, last name Cottle, C-O-T-T-L-E. And for address, would you like the business address or a personal address?
Whichever you prefer, please.
The business address is 4747 Pearl Street, Suite V3A and C, here in Boulder, Colorado, 80301, I believe, out here.
Okay, fantastic. Will you go ahead and please raise your hand? And do you swear or affirm that the testimony you are about to give in the matter before the Beverage Licensing Authority is true?
I do.
Do you also swear or affirm that you or your employees have posted the premises for at least 10 days prior to today's hearing?
I do.
Thank you. And I'll go ahead and swear in Laura.
Yes, my name is Laura Lunn, Laura Lunn. I'm a manager with Alcohol Petitioning Services. My address is 2032 Overland Drive, Johnstown, Colorado, 80534.
Thank you. And will you go ahead and raise your hand, please? Wonderful. Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you are about to give in the matter before the Beverage Licensing Authority is true?
Yes.
Thank you. Do you also swear or affirm that you or your employees have posted the premises for at least 10 days prior to today's hearing?
Veronica is going to have to answer that question for me. I didn't do the posting.
My client did the posting, so he's already testified to that piece.
Oh,
Thank you.
apologies. All right, thank you. Go right ahead.
Thank you so much.
Real quick, I'll read this in, and Miss Vecchio, are you good with me? Are you good with waiving the reading into the record? Okay, great. So this is a public hearing before the Beverage Licensing Authority of the City of Boulder to determine whether or not the application of applicant Roots Music Project, DBA Roots Music Project, for a request to modify the premise of a entertainment type liquor license shall be granted or denied. This hearing is conducted pursuant to the laws of the state of Colorado and to the rules of the Beverage Licensing Authority of the City of Boulder. Okay, Ms. Vecchio, please proceed.
Thank you. Mr. Cottle, could you please state your current occupation?
Yes, I am the Director of Operations at Roots Music Project Foundation, full-time.
And if you could explain what Roots Music Project Foundation is?
Sure, absolutely. We are a 501c3 nonprofit organization here in Boulder County that fosters the live music scene for youth and adults alike.
And what are your responsibilities as the Director of Operations?
I oversee a handful of components in the business. Obviously the bar. I also oversee staffing, ordering of inventory. I do a good amount of the profit and loss, training of employees, including the ABT, scheduling, and writing SOPs for the different parts of the business.
And what is ABT?
ABT is our alcohol beverage training company. It's similar to the TIPS, which everybody is familiar with, but the ABT is an in-person training that we have our entire staff do.
And how often are you on site?
These days, in the last couple of years, about 7 days a week, but I'm full-time salary, so at least 5 to 6 days a week.
And if you could just give a little background to the licensing authority, so they can get to know a little bit who you are. Where did you go to school?
I grew up outside of Chicago, I graduated high school there, attended community college in McHenry County, as well as Lane Community College in Eugene, Oregon.
And what did you study in school?
I studied hospitality, photography, and basically arts.
And could you provide a brief employment history pertaining to hospitality?
Sure. I've been in the restaurant industry since I was a teenager. I've also been general managers of spas here in Colorado that also had alcohol licenses. And then entrepreneur. I also own my own production company where I put on events. But for the last 3 years, I've been a full-time salary employee here at Roots Music Project.
And how many people are employed at Roots Music Project Foundation?
Sure. So starting with the bar staff, we have 1 bar manager, and we have about 3 to 4 part-time bartenders. We have 2, I would say, almost full-time MODs, managers on duty, as well as a production team that does sound and things like that. That's about 3 to 5 people, depending. And then our full-time staff, there are 3 people on full-time staff, as well as a couple part-time salary people, like including marketing and scheduling and things like that.
So how many total full-times?
Total full-time, I believe there's, I guess including the executive director, there's 3 of us salary that are full-time, including the executive director. So about 3 to 5, depending on how you look at it.
Okay. And what are the days and hours of operation at Roots?
So most days operation are 9 to 5 office hours. But as far as us doing events, most of our events staff arrives at 4 p.m. and we're most often done by 11 p.m. So kind of 2 shifts here. So we do have an office shift that starts at 9, and then we have an entertainment shift that's usually about, I would call it 4 to midnight. Those are kind of 2 8-hour shifts.
And do you have an outdoor space at Roots?
The 2 spaces, there are 1 main space. No, we have indoor spaces. Our original liquor license did have what we call like a beer patio that extends just outside of our garage door. But other than that, the space is inside.
Okay. And what type of liquor license do you currently hold?
The entertainment. Liquor
Okay.
license, yeah.
So what are you requesting today from the VLA?
We are requesting a permanent modification of the license. We are expanding into a new lease space that is the 4747 V3C. And we'd like to expand our liquor service area as well as our storage into the new lease space.
Could you explain the training of employees at Roots?
Absolutely. We have an internal training. We have standard operating procedure that is based around opening and closing. Like I mentioned, we do all of our staff does the ABT training with an on-site trainer. We just did a whole full staff round of that, which included all the way up to, excuse me, our executive director, all of our managers on duty, even our sound team, as well as our bartenders. So that's one of our main, we do monthly manager and bartender meetings, as well as like an annual training where we get to go through and just improve systems. So a couple levels of training there.
And what types of ID are accepted on site?
We accept government issued IDs, obviously driver's license and the real IDs, passports, and non-expired military IDs.
And do you use wristbands for people who've been admitted?
Absolutely. We use wristbands every evening. We divide our wristbands into over 21 and under 21. We have green over 20 that say over 21. And then anybody that's under 21, they get a red wristband as well as X's on their hands.
And then how many times are IDs checked? So once at the door, and is there a second opportunity?
We always check IDs at the door, and then all of our bartenders are also trained at check IDs. So it's we do have some redundancy there, but we check IDs at the door, and then our bartenders are also trained through the course to check IDs for almost everyone. I think the course says anybody under 50 type of thing. So 2 lines of defense.
Okay, and how are employees trained in terms of IDing a customer?
Sure. The top 3 things is you always match a photo to the person. Obviously check the birth date. And then the next one is always check an expiration date, as well as we do not use a scanner, but we do have a black light station underneath our ID check table. Also, all our employees are equipped with a flashlight. We have a magnifying glass because we do use some of our employees are a little older. And then we keep our 2025 ID checkbook guide at the door as well.
And then how do you assess the risk for serving someone who's been intoxicated?
There's a couple ways we do that. I mean, one, our first line of defense is our door people. So if we see an intoxication and somebody's entering the building, that's known to a manager as well as our bartenders. We do a lot of all ages events here. So it's something that we're very in tune with. One of the things that we're lucky about is we are not open as a bar to the public unless we have an event. So the types of events, most of our events are very wholesome, including kids events and School of Rock and things like that. So we are really, before we do an event, we know what type of event we're doing. So there's a handful that are identified that we might have intoxicated people. But other than that, there's visual cues, whether it be stumbling, slurring, things of that nature. And then through the training, you know, we follow a pretty strict amount of drinks in a certain amount of time.
What are the consequences for an employee who violates your alcohol service policies?
So it ranges case by case, but you know, the least severe would be a retraining, a write-up, an incident report. If we get to a more severe infraction, whether that would be serving somebody underage or over serving something, that could result in termination.
And can you discuss security on site?
Absolutely. So all of our entrances and exits are on camera, as well as our bar is on camera and the interior of the venue. We do hire security guards for our larger events, most often through Ridgeback Security, who's a trusted security company here in Boulder that does a lot of city events and works with us when we do our offsite events. As far as security, also, we have no alcohol past this point, signs posted on all of our entrances and exits, on the inside of our exits, obviously, including our fences that wrap around our beer garden when we, weather permitting, use that area. And then all of our managers on duty and door people are our first line of security as well. So cameras, staff, signage.
And then was the premises posted to alert the public of today's hearing?
Absolutely. I picked that up Friday, August 7th, and it was posted that afternoon and then sent to the liquor board, I believe that Friday or at the very latest, August 8th of this month.
Photograph of the posting was sent.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and is it still posted today?
It is right outside the door.
Perfect. And just to clarify what we're looking for with this modification, you mentioned there was a new lease agreement. Are you looking to expand the space where liquor will be served?
Yeah, we would like to expand it into this new leased area, which is the 4747 V3C. Our current liquor license is for the V3A location, and they're adjacent buildings. They're connected, and essentially we have a hallway to the other one. So we'd like to be able to serve, sell, and then also expand our storage to accommodate for the larger sales space.
Great. I don't have any further questions for this witness, so I tender the witness to the authority for follow-up.
Great, thank you. Any questions from the authority?
I don't have any.
I don't have any either.
You did a good job explaining everything, Nat, so appreciate that.
Well, thank you guys for your time.
Ms. Vecchio, do you have any closing statements?
Oh, I have one other witness before I close. I would like to call Laura Lunn, Alcohol Petitioning Service.
Yes, thank you.
I'm here.
Please
Okay,
proceed.
perfect. What is the name of the business that you are here on behalf of?
Alcohol petitioning services.
And what service did you provide for Roots Music Project Foundation?
We provided a neighborhood survey for a modification of a liquor license.
And do you recall the people who conducted that survey?
Yes, I do. There's going to be 3 or 4 circulators on Thursday, July 24th, and 2 circulators on Thursday, July 31st.
And can you describe the method or process that you all engage in when you're conducting the survey?
Absolutely. So all circulators are over 18 years of age or older. Each circulator had a clipboard with the following: a map of the designated area provided by the City of Boulder Liquor Licensing Authority, describing the boundaries of the defined neighborhood, a petition signature page where people contacted could indicate their support or opposition for the license, and a tally sheet to record the results of those who did not sign. People were shown the petition, the neighborhood map, and were verbally told of the modification of an entertainment type of liquor license being applied for, site location, and applicant's name. Each person who signed the petition indicated that they were either an owner or manager of a business or resident located within a designated area and were 21 years of age or older. Each signature was freely and voluntarily given with any influence from the circulator. I would like to just go back and talk about that we did this for the applicant, Roots Music Project Foundation Incorporated, DBA Roots Music Project, located at 4747 Pearl Street, Suite V3ANC, Boulder, Colorado, 80301.
Great. And what was the tally in terms of how many in favor and how many against?
Sure. So we were able to receive 84 signatures, of which there were in favor for residents were 23, in favor for businesses there were 60. There was one business that was opposed for a total of 83 signatures. In favor would be 98.8%, and in opposition is 1.2%.
Do you believe that based upon this information, the needs and desires of the neighborhood will be met by this modification of the liquor license?
Yes, absolutely.
And I tender this witness to the authority for follow-up questions.
Great, thank you. Any questions from the board? Okay. There are no questions. Thank you.
Thank you.
And you may proceed, Ms. Vecchio.
Just a brief conclusion. Roots Music Project Foundation has submitted an application for a permanent modification to its entertainment liquor license. The application is in order. The neighborhood needs and desires survey has shown that the needs and desires of the neighborhood would be met with this modification. And we do request that the licensing authority approve our application. Thank you.
Great, thank you. And for the record, I did forget to ask if any of the members had any conflicts of interest or ex parte communication with this establishment. Member Roberts, no?
Member Barnes, no.
Member Carr, no.
Okay, great. Then at this time, we will close for deliberation. Any comments, deliberation, discussion?
It sounds like they have kind of everything in order. Good plan. Diagram looks good. Established organization in the city. I don't have any concerns with this modification.
I don't either. They've already been quite responsible with the license that they have.
I
Were you
agree.
gonna say? Great. I'll make a motion to approve the expansion for Roots Music Project.
Member Carl will
Member
second.
Barnes, go ahead. Okay.
Go ahead, Member Barnes.
Member Barnes seconds it.
Excellent. All those in favor, say aye. Member Roberts, aye.
Member Barnes, aye.
Member Carr, aye.
Great. Liquor expansion approved. Good luck.
Thank you so much, guys. I'd just like to add that it's been a pleasure working with you guys, and you guys have also helped us through some of the process for our offsite and our nonprofit events and for the city of Boulder. And we really appreciate all the help you guys have given us. So thank you.
Wow, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay.
Okay, great. Thank you so much. I think we are good on that. We can go ahead and move on to agenda item 7, which is going to be matters from the city attorney. Roberto, do you have anything for us today?
No, thank you very much, though.
Thank you, Roberto. That will bring us to matters, agenda item 8, which is matters from the licensing clerk. There is no legislative update for this BLA. We also do not have any boundary settings also for this BLA, which is a little different for us. We have no expected administrative processing of liquor license transfer applications. We also have no breweries, wineries, or distilleries requests for local licensing authority. The special event liquor permit list, as well as the liquor license renewals, was in the packet. And then, other than that, that brings us to agenda item number 9, which is matters from the chair and members of the authority.
Great. Any comments or anything from any members? I don't have
Me.
any. Shall I make a motion to adjourn?
Yes, please, if you like.
Okay.
Oh,
I will make a motion to adjourn at 3:45 p.m.
Member Carr will second the motion.
Great. All those in favor say aye. Member Roberts, aye.
Member Barnes, aye.
Member Carr, aye.
Great. Meeting adjourned.
Thank you all so much.
Thanks, everyone.
Thanks, everyone. See you next month.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.